The pro card, it's a great honor, it's a great accomplishment, but it's more about going out there and competing against the best. It's bringing the best you can to the table, and obviously if you've done enough work, getting a pro card should be the next step. Come on, Tommy.
I have it in my mind that, like, I really feel like there isn't going to be anybody at that show that's going to bring what I'm going to bring. I am so focused and dialed in. The way I've been able to come into this type of conditioning and keep the size and the symmetry that I have, I'm very confident that I'm going to win this show.
He's confident that he's going to win, but at the same time, we're approaching every workout and all the diet aspect like he's the underdog. Come on, team. November 17th. Don't let them outwork you.
I just don't think there's going to be anybody that's going to come into that show that's going to bring everything that I'm going to bring. I mean, not only the conditioning, but the size and the symmetry, the vascularity. I really don't think anybody can match me.
They don't want to do that 2 weeks out. Somebody's going to beat him, it's going to be a person that's ready to step on the pro stage and do well, because Tommy's ready to step on the pro stage and do well on the pro stage.
Come show day, I'm going to bring the absolute best that I can possibly bring. And it's up to the judges to see whatever it is that they're going to see, but I'm going to know that I did everything that I could to bring my best.
Come on, Tommy.
One more.
That lower back, there we go. Hey, one thing, be careful about, you weren't doing it too bad, but don't go back too far. I know that's like kind of a popular thing to do, but it doesn't really do anything extra for you. And all it does is it throws your disc. I mean, this is worse than rounding your back. Okay. So I would just bring it to like right here, be done with it, you know? Yeah. You'll see a lot of guys do that emphasis because they think it hits their back more, but I've seen so many guys slip a disc doing that. Yeah. So that's like underhand barbell rows. You'll never see me do them because so many guys tear their biceps doing it. A bodybuilder doesn't get better by telling them how great they are. A bodybuilder gets better by saying, okay, where can we improve? With a guy like Tommy, it would be easy to get relaxed and say, oh, he's got this, you know? Nobody can beat him. Look how huge he is. But you can't do that. You have to really say, okay, where can we improve? Because you can't leave anything on the table. You've got to make sure you've put everything into it. He has to make sure he's put everything into it work-wise. I have to make sure I put everything into it, you know, in terms of prepping him and being objective and that kind of thing. So we're really just hammering away. We're playing it. You know, he's confident that he's going to win, but at the same time, we're approaching every workout and all the diet aspect like he's the underdog.
I'd have to say my back has been probably my biggest concern because I never deadlifted up until just this last year, and I never really knew how to work back effectively for width and depth. And although I've made some extraordinary progress just within the last year and just adding deadlifts and some other exercises to really help with that, it just hasn't been enough time for me to really bring that body part up. So I would say that my back is really my only concern. I think everywhere else I feel really, really confident on any of the other poses. But my back width and my back depth would be just something that, like, you know, I'm really striving to try and get as good as I can for this show, but will really be a focal point in next year's off-season training.
Resist it. At shows, natural shows, you know, you can always have somebody come out of nowhere that nobody knows about, that you've never seen. Last year's champ, Jeff Williamson, he's a tough competitor. If he does the show, he's gonna be tough to beat. I think his conditioning he had last year is very similar to Tommy's. I think Tommy has better size and symmetry. But Jeff's a gamer. If he shows up and he's in great condition, who knows what can happen.
This year, this time around, has been completely different. I have really just locked everybody out, and I have only been focusing on me. And I think that's really, really helped me because I'm not competing against anybody else. You know, I'm competing against me, I'm competing against who I see in the mirror every day. And I think that right there has really helped me psychologically be able to really put all of my focus into what I'm doing and not worrying about what anybody else is doing.
I feel like Tommy is going to be able to hold his own against anybody. You can't really worry about what other people are going to do. All you can do is focus on yourself, and I'm kind of the same way with my clients. I try not to say, oh man, they've got to go up against this guy, or they've got to go up against that guy. I just say, okay, we're going to get them as ready as we can get them for them, get them at their best. And again, if that happens, then there's no reason they shouldn't walk away winners. And if somebody beats you in that case, like I said, if you've worked as hard as you can work, you left it all on the table, all you can do is tip your hat to them.
I feel a lot better in hitting the poses without a mirror. I still have trouble on a couple just on feel, and then, you know, when somebody's there to just say, hey, lean back a little bit, or hey, point your knee out a little bit, you know, and then my body remembers. And doing that enough, you get that muscle memory to be able to just set right into the pose, really nice and relaxed, and it's really helped. I feel much more confident about my posing this time around than even just the 2 previous shows that I've done.
I don't think you ever get perfected at posing. I think there's always little things you can do. He's gotten a lot better, especially with his foot placement on the back poses. I mean, those are the ones we really have to nail, the back poses. Because again, those are where his weaknesses are, his hamstrings, his glutes, his back. And so we have to make sure that posing isn't something that costs him a placing. You know, you work so hard, you diet all this time, and you put all this work into it. You would hate to have something like posing be the reason that you don't win. And so we're always working, we're playing it like there's always things we can get better at, but he's improved drastically, and I'm pretty confident that by the time the show rolls around, he's going to be one of the better posers on stage, and that's not going to be an issue.
I think the most stressful thing for me being a couple of weeks out is making sure that I've got everything fine-tuned and dialed in to the best of my ability. When you get so close to a show, your mind will start to play tricks on you, and you'll never look as lean as what you really are. You know, you start to see maybe your own weak points are just magnified, and I think the biggest thing is really the psychological battle that you play with yourself when you get that close, because you want to look so perfect that day of the stage that you're really, really picky on everything that you see. And but because I've competed before, I'm a lot better at that. I'm a lot better at handling that and making sure that I keep calm and just put faith in what I'm doing so that I can just like coast into the show and just know that I will bring my best on that particular day.
There's always that factor that somebody could show up, but you can't worry about somebody else. All you can do is worry about yourself. If you put everything you've got into it, if you're your best you've ever been, if you've done everything you can to win, and you know somebody just happens to be better on that day, then you just tip your hat to them.
I'm very confident that I'm going to win this show. And I really don't mean that to sound arrogant. I'm just supremely confident right now.
November 17th. Pro card, come on.